We've dedicated our hour today to the language of love. And there are so many ways we express the deep emotions we feel towards a person. And our two guests today, Valerie Bertinelli and Jennifer Lewis, have been sharing how they show love. Well, when we were planning this show, I asked my team a simple question. Had they read this incredible book by Dr. Gary Chapman? I don't remember how old I was when I was given it, but I remember reading it, and I often refer to it. You may not know the name, but chances are you've heard of the New York Times international best-selling book, The 5 Love Languages. This year, it marks 30 years since the book was first published, and the start of what Business Insider calls a revolutionary concept. The New York Times described it as a mega-selling phenomenon. Over 20 million copies of The 5 Love Languages have been sold worldwide. It's been translated into over 50 different languages. And get this, every year it continues to sell more copies than the year before. The iconic guidebook that has been credited with transforming relationships has helped countless couples better communicate by understanding each other's love language.
Reading the book, The 5 Love Languages, changed my life because it put things into perspective as far as how to love someone. It doesn't have to be one way straight across the board for everybody.
It's really impacted my marriage. I was able to identify what ways that my husband receives love and confirm the way that I receive love.
I've learned that my wife in particular is a words of affirmation person. I need to speak and encourage her, where I might not have done that before I read the book.
It's really helped strengthen my relationship with my daughter. She's 6. Knowing what her love languages are, it's made us stronger together with having less negative influences, because when she feels love, she always wants to behave.
Please welcome the man who we fell in love with because of his book, Dr. Gary Chapman. You first came up with the concept, the 5 love languages, during your work as a marriage counselor. Are you stunned by the phenomenon? Millions of people around the world still reading this.
I'm absolutely blown away. The fact that it sells more every year, as you said, than the year before, that doesn't happen to books.
You've been married to your wife, Carolyn, for 60 years now.
Yes.
Do you credit knowing her love language to the reason you've been together so long?
Well, I don't know that I would say that, because the first 20 years, I didn't know the love languages. I kept saying to her, honey, I love you. I'm so glad I married you, And one night she said, if you love me, why don't you help me? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, you don't ever offer to do the dishes or vacuum the floors or clean the toilet, And I said, well, woman, what you talking about? My mother did that, Not a good answer, But I started doing those things, and then she started telling me how much she appreciated me. And I didn't know anything about love languages, but we stumbled upon the concept, But later on, it got fleshed out in my counseling with other couples.
All right, so I want to go through the list. We asked the TAM fam in studio to take the quiz. We're going to go through the love languages, first starting with words of affirmation.
It's simply using words to affirm the other person. You look nice in that outfit. I really appreciate what you did. One of the things I really like about you?
I like it. Well, we ask our audience to take the survey to find their love language. 14% say that their love language was affirmation. Quality time. Help me understand that one.
Quality time is giving the person your undivided attention. I'm talking about the TV is off, the computer is down, we're not answering our phone. We're simply having a conversation, listening and talking to each other. Undivided attention.
All right. Well, we asked the TAM fam in the audience, 25% say quality time is their love language. Next up, receiving gifts. That seems self-explanatory.
Yes, it's universal to give gifts as an expression of love. And the gift doesn't have to be expensive. We've always said it's the thought that counts.
I like that. So the TAM fam here, 11% say receiving gifts is their love language. Acts of service. Tell us about that one.
That's doing something for your spouse that you know, or anyone, whatever the relationship is, but something that they would like for you to do. There's an old saying, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
If this is their love language, that's true. Actions will speak louder than words to these people.
I love that. 29% of the Tam fam revealed that acts of service was their love language. Physical touch.
Physical touch. We've long known the emotional power of physical touch. In a marriage, that's such things as holding hands and kissing, embracing, the whole sexual part of marriage, arm around the shoulder, driving down the road, you put your hand on their leg, sitting around the house, they walk by and you trip them. I'm kidding. Don't trip your spouse.
21% of the Tam fam said physical touch is their love language. I did the quiz too, by the way. My love language is acts of service. I like to, well, my husband doesn't ask me to break down the Amazon boxes, and he just does it. That's a hot night at our house because I just can't believe I said that. I like little thoughtful things. So do you recommend that we take the test and then share that with someone in our lives?
Absolutely. Couples can be sincere in expressing love, but still miss each other emotionally because they're not speaking the other person's language, they're speaking their own language.
I love this. Thank you so much for this book and what you created, this phenomenon. It's such a thrill and an honor to finally meet you and have you on. Dr. Chapman's book, The 5 Love Languages, is still going strong after 30 years. And guess what, Tam fam and our studio audience, you're all going home with your own copy. Thank you, Dr.